A couple days ago, I was doing the Bedwars parkour whilst brainstorming for video ideas. I was looking for something to do. Something that people would be interested in, and something they do every time they play Minecraft. Something we do all the time and don't even notice it. Something. And then it hit me. I knew what I could make a video on. Something ironically I did every time I was on Hypixel without even knowing. Therefore, I went onto Skyblock and started farming bosses. Until seconds later, when I realised I'd rather not play 18 hours a day for some in-game items and 2 views on a video I put days into, therefore I continued to brainstorm. After numerously beating the Bedwars parkour and now doing other Hypixel ones, I realised something I should have seen much sooner. Something that gets views, everyone loves, and will take hardly any effort. Unfortunately, after spamming Dream's DMs, I probably won't be getting into the Dream SMP anytime soon. Maybe just has the notifications off, I don't really know. At this point, I was defeated. Not over the fact I don't have any ideas, of course. I was angry because this one bloody checkpoint doesn't work. I mean, I did the same section about 5 times now, and the checkpoint keeps glitching and not letting me teleport. Someone should seriously warn the people about these terrible parkours. In this video, I rank all 17 parkours on Hypixel. Before we start, make sure to subscribe. A small content creator, such as myself, really needs it and it will help me out a ton. Thank you, and enjoy the video. Now then, last place, also known as number 17. I'll give it to UHC Champions. Out of all the parkours, this one really wasn't that bad. Like, if the aesthetic was nice, it wasn't too difficult, it wasn't too easy. But there was just one very bad thing about it. Right. And it's the glitches. The glitches were so annoying, right? I did the same section about 10 times. As you see in the intro, the only reason I hate this one is just because of the glitches. Like, oh my god, this is the only parkour out of all 17 that I haven't completed. Because I kept glitching out and I couldn't use checkpoints correctly. And I couldn't even complete the parkour because one of the checkpoints, like, glitched me down. I don't know. Well, it's hard to explain. Anyway, that's why I picked it for number 17. And yeah, here are the glitches, just so there's pure evidence. There were 2 major glitches. This one, where this checkpoint just didn't work. You know, I respawned to it and it just took me back to the next one. And there was also the second one, where whenever I touched the checkpoint, it glitched me through the floor. I don't know what that happened, but yeah, these are the glitches. And they both happened to me a couple of times. Next up, at number 16, we have housing. Housing is... it's nothing great. I mean, the platforms are very uncreative. It drags on for way too long. And the best part, which is the boat part, is at the very end. And there's not much to it. Like, the entire thing is, like, dull. There's no, like, any creativity, and it just drags on for way too long. I mean, look at the platforms. They're just some sandstone and quartz. Like, it doesn't incorporate into builds well. It's just not that good, you know. But, I mean, there's nothing, like, it's not glitchy or anything. It's just very bad, I guess. And this checkpoint especially just doesn't work well, because every time you teleport, you just jump straight off the edge. So, yeah, there's a lot of things to complain about in this. Parkour, but I guess it's way better than a UHC one, which for me was very glitchy. At number 15, we have the main menu. Here, I was a bit confused, because it was quite glitchy, but it wasn't, like, actually that bad. And considering it's, like, the main parkour, technically, because it's part of the main menu, it also loses some points, because nobody, like, sits in the main menu. You're always in, like, a game. Yeah, just as a whole, this parkour was very average. Like, there was nothing great to it, but the one thing that really, like, made this parkour bad for me was the glitches once again. Like, if they had no glitches, I'd probably this would be, like, mid-list, but otherwise, it deserves the number 15 spot. The glitch on this one was I just kept getting teleported back here. It happened about 3 or 4 times. It wasn't too bad, but it was still annoying. At the number 14 spot, we have Prototype. I feel like the entire parkour was quite unpolished. And everything about it was just really, like, wacky. This checkpoint right here was quite annoying because you had to walk to the right and it wasn't really in your path. But apart from that, most of the parkour was actually alright. The ending, however, was slightly too hard. Like, it had, like, 3 or 4 consecutive 4-block jumps, which could be quite difficult, especially at, like, diagonals or whatever. But apart from that, yeah, I feel like it's a good suit for number 14. Number 13 is Build Battle. This was in no way a bad parkour. The only thing I disliked about it is that it started on the right side instead of the left, like every single other minigame in the entire game, apart from TNT Run as well. But yeah, apart from that, every single one started on the left side. But apart from that, just a very average parkour. Like, I guess this section right here, like where it's underground, wasn't too great because it's really uncreative. But apart from that, just a very average parkour, I must say. However, that still gives it the number 13 spot. In number 12, we have Arcade Games. Arcade Games, fantastic aesthetic. I loved every bit of it when it comes to how it looks. And also, in one part of the parkour, you went through a pipe like Mario. Amazing. And, yeah, it's very well designed level. But the parkour itself is kind of difficult. I mean, right now, I'm just choking. But even later on the parkour, it was quite difficult. Another complaint I have about it is the first checkpoint is like slightly off to the side, so you kind of have to walk into it like after you complete the jumps. So that, yeah, I forgot to get it the first couple times, so that was annoying. But apart from that, pretty solid parkour, I must say. At number 11, we have Blitz. See, I'm not sure if this deserves the number 12 spot or number 11 spot. It was hard to tell this one because although the parkour was so much better than arcade games, the aesthetic was off and it was really short. However, I did really like the parkour itself. Like, I liked all the the jumps were pretty like fluent. It was iron bars. It was a cool idea, and I like how it was all fit into one room. But at the same time, I don't like how it was short. It's hard to explain, but yeah. So I reckon if this was a bit longer, then it would be higher of a list. But right now, I think it belongs somewhere number 11, number 12. I'm not really sure. We have now made it to the top 10, and I think Mega Walls deserves this spot. See, I don't have anything to complain when it comes to Mega Walls. The parkour was okay, it was creative, the aesthetic wasn't bad, it was just very solid, you know. Yeah, as I said, no complaints. I do have one good thing about it, which is that it does like a cool loop, basically. Like, you start off in a certain place, and then you end slightly above it, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I just felt like this parkour was, like, pretty cool, because it's all cramped and stuff, and the parkours are, like, varying difficulty. Basically, it's alright. Number 9 now, we have TNT Games, and before I start talking about this one, I just want to say, although it may sound like a very negative perception of this one, it definitely makes up in its aesthetic and the parkour itself. The aesthetic is amazing, I feel like they captured the whole Wild West type of thing really well, and like all these jumps are pretty cool as well, and it's really forgiving. Like, this parkour is really good if you don't want to keep sweating out and restarting. Like, you fall, you climb back up, it's easy. There is the negative things now, which is there is too much of that cheese. So you fall and you can just get back up. It's not much challenge to it. And to add to that, it's really easy. Yeah. But apart from that, it's really good. Like, there's not much to complain about in this parkour. Actually, there's one last thing which I've mentioned earlier. It starts on the right side instead of the left. Oh! In number 8, we have Warlords. So, let me just say, right, this should not be in the number 8 spot, but there's one thing that makes it this high up, which is it's unique. It's the only parkour to feature like an obstacle course type thing, apart from the one we'll talk about later. And it also has a little maze. And I feel like this one should have been a lot higher, but when I replayed it for a second time, I realized, oh wait, it's really short. Probably shouldn't be in like top 3 or whatever. So yeah, that's that. It's really short, but it's unique. Now at number 7 we have Murder Mystery. Honestly, just very average. There's nothing that makes it good enough to be in top 6, but there's nothing that like holds it back, so yeah, I guess that's that. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, the theming's okay, and that's about all I have to say, because as I said, it's just very average. At number 5 we do have Duels. What I like about this one is it's well incorporated into buildings. Like, the entire time you go around skyscrapers and you end up on top of skyscrapers at the end. But most of the time you're just kind of jumping on direct platforms. Like, it could be far better. Another thing I don't like about it is it's slightly too long. The major part I like is that the constant rhythm of jumping. Like, you jump, you jump, you jump, you jump. Apart from every 4 block every now and then, it's quite therapeutic, I'd say. That's why it deserves the number 6 spot. Now number 6, a fan favourite, Skywars. Although I'm not a big fan of this one, I know a lot of people do like it. It's not much to say. It's very average. The parkour is good, theming good. However, it can be confusing. If you follow the green wall, you should be fine. Apart from that, it's just very average. And number 4, we have my personal favourite, which is Cops and Crims. What I love about this one, it's not parkour, it's an obstacle course, and I think that's very unique. Obviously, one other like parkour had an obstacle course, but this one's just a better, more ways. You know, it takes longer, it's more diverse, and it fits the style really well. I mean, it's Cops and Crims, Cops and Criminals, obviously, and it kind of imitates the idea of a prison break, and it's really cool. Like, the entirety of this, like, parkour, is it even parkour? I don't really know, it's just really cool. And even if you fail jumps, you can continue. But it's just all about that speed. And that's what I love about this one. It's creative, you don't have to be good to beat it. It's just great. I don't know any bad parts about it, but it does still only get the number 4 spot. Now we have possibly the most iconic of all the parkours. We have the Bedwars parkour. This one, I don't know what's about it. It's just something about it is great. I'm not sure if it's the pacing, the beautiful aesthetics, the views, the like diverse biomes, the not too hard, not too easy parkour. Just something about it makes it click, you know? Or maybe just because everyone plays Bedwars. Nah, couldn't be. Anyway, I don't know, why this parkour is so great, but I think it deserves a number 3 spot just for how iconic it is, and it's just very decent. There's nothing to complain about, and, well, it's pretty popular, I guess. Now at number 2, you might be thinking, what's better than the Bedwars parkour? Well, it's classic games. I know, let me explain. So, let me just highlight, the start is terrible, okay? You have to jump into a hole, and you have to jump into this forest area, which is just a downgraded Skywars. But, this is where it gets good, right? So, right after this forest area, it enters, like, this epic underground road area, and, like, the storytelling in this is insane. It's not really a story, but you get the point. The style is also pretty fun. It includes ice parkour, the only one that has ice parkour. It's pretty cool, and it's just great, honestly. Aesthetically, it's cool, the parkour is good, ice is pretty cool, and, like, the parkour is very diverse, as I said, ice, ladders, etc. I don't know, I just don't have much to complain when it comes to classic games, and I do think the number 2 spot is quite good for it. Originally I was going to put it in like 10th or something, then once I remembered, oh wait, it has ice parkour and like the road area is quite cool, then that's when I knew it's top 3 content. Now then, quite an unexpected one in first place, we have Smash Heroes, and the game itself is pretty bad, but the parkour, oh my god, the parkour. Nice little first section where we have a cool little arena, we have some very, very basic parkour, we have some head hitters as well, we're just about head hitters. Then, just after we leave the first section, we have the closest thing we have to a Neo in this entire jump, which is from the window onto this little stone slab area. And this is where it gets amazing. So from here, you, like, jump from building to building. And then from there, you jump on hills, and then you jump on a boat, and then you jump on, like, this, another Mario pipe, and then you go into this underground area, and oh my god, the landscaping is amazing in this. It's so good at incorporating the stuff around it into a parkour. It honestly just feels like some scenery, but in reality, it's parkour. It's great. Smash Heroes, you've done well for first time out. But the underground area, nothing special, and the very end, you parkour up a lighthouse. And the view at the very end, it's top notch, okay? There's nothing I can complain about this parkour. It's just perfect in every way. So, do I advise this to be your, like, every time to parkour and something like this? Probably not. But is this, like, is this the greatest parkour out of all the ones available? Yes, probably yes. But apart from that, I think this is the end of this video, and I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know whether my decision was correct. I just think Smash Heroes Parkour is really good. But nonetheless, this is the end of this video, and goodbye.